Snapchat Horror Stories, Volume 1, The Vanishing Snap. Part 2, The Stalker Behind the Screen. It had been almost a week since Unknown Heights 23 entered my life, but instead of the terror fading, it seemed to grow stronger with each day. After the eerie picture of my dorm's door, I thought nothing could scare me more. I was wrong. This nightmare was far from over, and the chilling Snapchats were only the beginning. After that last message, I started keeping my blinds closed, barely sleeping, waiting for each new notification. My friends, Mia, Jake, and Allie, were worried, especially Mia, who had been hearing strange sounds from her phone as well, like faint whispers and static in her snaps. Even Jake, the most skeptical among us, seemed rattled. He'd shrugged off every creepy thing I'd shown him, but now he was beginning to feel the unease too. That's when I knew I wasn't alone in this. The next night, around 2 a.m., I was jolted awake by a Snap notification. I reluctantly reached for my phone, feeling that gnawing fear in my gut. As I opened it, my blood ran cold. It was a picture of my friends and me, taken at our last group hangout in the campus park. But this time, there was something off about the image. A shadowy figure stood in the background, barely noticeable but unmistakably there, right behind Jake. None of us remembered seeing anyone near us that day. The caption read, "Closer than you think." I immediately called Jake and Allie, waking them up in a panic. When they checked their phones, they found the same snap in their chat. Jake's voice was strained. "Sarah, this isn't funny. Who is doing this?" "I swear I don't know," I whispered, my voice shaky. "But I don't think it's a prank anymore. Whoever they are, they're following us." Over the next few days, Unknown Heights 23 kept sending us photos. Only now, they were of places that held personal memories for us. There was a picture of the cafe where Jake and I studied for finals last semester, a shot of the art building where Allie had her first gallery showing, and even Mia's car parked outside the dorm with the caption, "Nice ride." Each snap felt like an invasion, a reminder that this person was watching us wherever we went. Then things escalated. One evening, Mia and I were sitting in the common area when she suddenly gasped, "Sarah, look!" She handed me her phone. It was another snap, but this one showed Mia sitting on the same couch we were on, with me beside her, both of us looking down at her phone. The angle was high and strange, as if taken from somewhere above us, like a hidden camera. I glanced up at the ceiling, half expecting to see a phone or camera, but the area was empty. Just a normal room, filled with a dread that none of us could shake. "This is impossible," I whispered, but Mia just shook her head, her eyes wide with fear. She was as lost as I was. The next night, Jake and Allie came to my dorm and we all sat in tense silence, watching our phones for any new notifications. At around 3 a.m., just as we were ready to give up and go to bed, a Snap notification buzzed on all our phones simultaneously. Each snap was different. Mine was a picture of my closed door, taken from outside. The caption, "Open it." Jake's was a picture of his dorm window with the caption, "Peek out." Allie's was of her dorm room mirror, her reflection faintly visible. The caption, "Look closely." Jake, the bravest among us, decided to check his window first. "I'll see what's out there," he said, his voice barely a whisper. But as he approached, he froze. No way. We followed his gaze, and as we peered outside, our hearts stopped. A figure stood in the dim light below his window, staring up at us. The figure was tall, shadowy, its face obscured. It was as if they knew we were looking right at them, yet they didn't move, just stared. Panicking, I slammed the window shut, and we all huddled back into my room, the door locked and our phones set to silent. But that didn't stop the Snapchats from coming. The last message of the night simply read, "Sleep well." None of us did. The next morning, we went to campus security. We showed them the snaps, but they just chalked it up to a cruel prank. "It's probably some kid trying to scare you. Block them and move on," they said, brushing us off. But deep down, I knew this was no prank. I could feel the presence, like someone's eyes were following me wherever I went. The following night, Allie came rushing into my room, her face pale. She showed me a snap she'd received. It was a picture of her childhood home, taken at night. "They know where my family lives," she whispered, voice trembling. "Sarah, they're not just watching us. They're getting closer." By this point, we were desperate. Jake suggested deleting Snapchat, but Mia had another idea. What if we confront them, send a message back and ask what they want? It felt insane, but we were out of options. With shaky hands, I typed, "Who are you? What do you want?" The response was instant. "Don't you remember?" I stared at the message, confused. "Remember what?" I typed back. After a long pause, they replied, "I've always been with you." That night, I couldn't shake a creeping feeling, like I was missing something crucial. And then, in the early hours of the morning, I woke up to find a new snap waiting for me. Dread pooling in my stomach, I opened it. It was a video. The footage was grainy and shaky, but I recognized the hallway outside my dorm. The camera moved slowly, each step echoing, getting closer to my door. I could hear soft, heavy breathing on the audio, as if someone was just outside my room. Then the screen went dark and a final message popped up. "I'm here." The haunting continues. Stay tuned for part 3.